Let's go.
The following is another amazing episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. And what we're doing today is we'll be giving our predictions for WWE NXT in your house. That's right. We have 6 matches, and we're going to give our predictions and also what may happen, what alliances may form, what alliances may break up, and all that good stuff in this episode. But before we go any further, I am your host, that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always positive, life is great, repping 592, living in the 718, no cap, straight facts, the worldwide starboy, Remy Blue. And joining me are 3 familiar faces that you may have actually recognized. And the reason why you recognize them is that they've actually been on our show before. Yes, they've been on 15 Minutes of Fandom before. And as always, if you're on 15 Minutes of Fandom, there is a high chance you will be back for one of our episodes such as this. So with that being said, let me make the introductions. Our first guest is a man who has more drip than Seth Rollins with syphilis. Everybody, welcome to the show, Andre Audacity.
The audacity of this man.
Our second guest is a man hailing from the 305 where they keep it live. Your ghetto country Chicano, Salvador.
What's going on, everyone? Is everybody's favorite ghetto country Chicano dog as a representative of Wrestle City Radio and also a good friend of Remy since 2012. Lillian Garcia, the Lillian Garcia private concert. What's happening, everybody? Coming live from Miami right now. It's a little bit windy because we're supposed to be getting some rain. Supposed to be a tropical storm heading down this way, but nonetheless, man, what's happening, everybody's glad to be here and looking to talk some wrestling. You know what I'm talking about?
Awesome. Yes, Wrestle City Radio. Make sure you check them out. Great content. Pretty much our sister channel, led by my mentor George Alonzo, the Obi-Wan Kenobi to my Anakin Skywalker. Definitely check them out. They're doing great stuff over there. Shout out to George, Emily, and also the newest member, Manda Micro. Y'all are doing great things. And our third guest, who unfortunately had to step away, but you will see him. We will introduce him anyways because he's going to pop up, is not just any king. No, he's not your Burger King. He's not the King Elvis Presley. He's not Jerry the King Lawler. No, he is the Brisk King, and he'll be here real shortly. We're just actually going to keep a lookout for him. Matter of fact, there he is. Brisk, I'm sorry, man. Yes.
More like a mid king.
Yes. This is not just any king, not King of Fighters, not King of the Gaijin, although we know that's Godzilla. No, the Brisk King. And when you see this man in person, you got to make sure you have a can of Brisk, and then you might be on his good side. How y'all feel? How you doing today, man? I think he's stuck.
Nah, his mic is muted. He need to put his mic on. There we go.
The mid king strikes again.
By the way, I just got to give a quick congratulations. Your sound is off.
Oh, it's still off. He just turned the mic off again.
It's mute. It's on mute.
Yeah, he need to take it off mute. I don't know if he's trying not to open the can on video. This is a hell of a show so far.
It happens.
Your rating.
Can't hear you.
Wow.
Oh no, we caught him at an angle too.
Am I the only one that sees he's frozen?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
He's having a time right now.
Either he's doing what was it in 2015, 2016? Either he's doing the mannequin challenge or his video's frozen.
I hope he's not doing the mannequin challenge. We're live.
He like Jim Ross said, we're live, pal.
Yeah. But anyways, he's back now. Here he is.
Where?
Hey, welcome back, man.
Hello.
My
hello.
conception or what?
Why is there two of you?
Okay, there we go.
All right.
Say something.
Brisk, what's going on, man?
It's been quite a day, to be quite honest with everybody.
First off, before I go any further, I just got to say congratulations on your graduation. You know, you put it aside, you got it done.
Thank you.
You're definitely an inspiration. And, you know, keep on, you know, I wish you nothing but the best with what you do further. I saw the pictures like, oh, man, Brisk done did it, man. Another brother with a college degree, man. That's what's up, you know.
Thank you.
Especially in an instance where, you know, I'm gonna be real about it. I'm gonna speak on my culture because I can speak on it. You know, I'm like I said, I don't care. But you know, in a situation where the stereotype is, you know, black men don't graduate college as much as, you know, the sisters. You know, it's great to see, you know, a brother doing it and getting it done. And congrats on that, man. I wish you nothing but the best as well, too, as well. But so yeah, wrestling, man. NXT in your house 2022. June 4th, June 5th, June 5th. No, it's June 4th, actually. It'll be a Saturday. And we got 6 great matches coming up. And very interesting. A lot of them have a great build-up. Honestly speaking, even though a lot of people don't like the revamped version of NXT, one thing I will definitely give them is all of their matches they've had have had a great build-up. And you look forward to seeing them. So, what are your guys' thoughts on this card, actually?
All right, this is my thing. I fade in and out of NXT 2.0 every now and then. And even when I don't really watch it, I try to at least catch highlights. And while there are some bright spots, I feel as if it's not as compelling as it used to be. I'm gonna be real. Like, it's not as compelling as back in the days of the black and gold. And, you know, it just, while there are some people to pay attention to, like, you know, Braun Breaker, even though he sounds like a Saturday morning cartoon villain as, like, you know, a name. And Toxic Attraction has just been boring. It's been so boring to me. That whole stable's boring to an extent. But, like, I feel as if NXT in your house, they could surprise me. You know, like, I mean, I'm not going to spoil one of my early predictions, but if they prove me wrong on this, it might be something to look forward to.
Yeah. I have to agree that there has been a change. I do miss the NXT of old. I miss the competitiveness and all that. I don't know what Vince and the gang are thinking, but he's gonna do what he thinks is best for his company. And at this point, it's either I like it and I'm gonna keep watching it, which I'm giving it a chance, or I'm just gonna just change the channel and just watch something else. Which in now these days, not just AEW, there's so many choices that you have that you can actually that there's so many other promotions you could watch to enjoy wrestling at. So it is what it is. Well, how about you? How about you, Salvador? What's your thoughts on this card and new NXT and everything?
Well, as far as this particular show goes, I'm just gonna have a low expectation.
Okay.
I mean, other than Braun Breakers, Santos Escobar, and Carmelo Hayes, I'm just gonna have a real low.
Really hectic.
Okay.
So, as far as how as far as the current NXT is going,
Brisk.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Salvador was just he was
really just chimed in with that. Haven't you people ever heard of closing a guy's door?
Just quoted Panic at the Disco. Just go put Panic at the Disco. I write sins.
Oh man.
Yes, Sal. Go ahead, man.
But like I was saying, other than those three talents that I know that are very talented, I'm just gonna have a low expectation for this show and just expect they're gonna just like trash it and not be good. So that way, if they do something good, I'll be like, well, damn, you know, they pulled that one out their ass. They have a lot of work to do. And obviously, we know one thing about change is that change is always going to be inevitable. Yeah, this isn't like the takeovers from 2016, hell, maybe even 2015. 2000, it ain't the roster when we had guys like Balor and Nakamura and Rude and Andrade, and teams like the Revival, Enzo and Cass, American Alpha, um, the Vaudevillains, Blake, Murphy and Blake. Not, it's not like these teams and single wrestlers and women that we knew from back in the day. Obviously, yes, each of those talent, there's new developing talent. And the original purpose for NXT was to develop new talent. And now that they're kind of going back to it, yes, it's not like big names from the indies that are in NXT. They're all now up and comers. One thing that they've done good so far with is Braun Breaker. He wrestles like Rick. He talks like Scott. He has an explode. Man, he's basically the walking personification of WCW. That man has the intensity of a Goldberg, the wrestle acumen of the Steiners, have a coolness like Kevin Nash. He's basically, he is basically what a WCW wrestler was. And obviously, he grew up, in the industry. So I expect big things for Braun Breaker. Carmelo Hayes reminds me of a young MVP. As far as accomplishments, talent, will he be as good and will he accomplish as much as MVP? Yet to be determined. But he's someone who is, need to keep an eye on. Santos Escobar has always been a favorite of mine, rather if you know him as El Fantasmo Jr. in Mexico, rather if you know him as King Cuerno in Lucha Underground, or if you know him now as basically Santos Escobar in WWE. Those three, I expect them to do big things on this show. I wish Solo Sokoa would have been on the show, or as I know him, Sefa Fatu, because I know he's gonna kick ass. But other than that, man, I'm just gonna have low expectations for this show, and I'm going to hope that they knock it out the park so I could be like, damn, that got me.
Okay. Brisk King, what about you, man? What's your thoughts on this show? Is he there?
If you're still here. There he is.
Hey, Brisk King, what's your thoughts on the NXT card, man? Oh man, that man's having a hard time.
Me, just with life. But there was one other thing I kind of wanted to add, actually.
Sure.
Bray Wyatt, or Wyndham Rotunda, as he's known outside of WWE, been teasing some very cryptic stuff lately.
In all honesty, go ahead.
I was going to say, if by some miracle, for some reason, he comes back at In Your House, just like, this isn't me trying to fantasy book or anything like that, because honestly, within the world of wrestling, literally anything is possible at this point. We have realized that. Cody Rhodes came to WWE. We can't put anything off the table.
Still salty about that, but I'll give that opinion at another time.
Hey, that pop at WrestleMania was like that for me. I popped for that. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I'm happy for him. Like, I've been a Cody Rhodes fan. No matter the promotion, no matter the initials of the promotion, I'm following Cody Rhodes wherever he goes, and it's about damn time he's getting the respect and the push that he deserved to have got. Because that Stardust gimmick was an atrocity. But he basically did the same thing that Drew McIntyre did, that Jinder Mahal
He
did.
went elsewhere and came back.
Yeah, and when those two in particular came back, they eventually both became WWE champion, not the Universal champion, not the World Heavyweight Championship, the
Well,
same championship.
Cody's still waiting on that.
I'm just saying. As far as these other two did, they hold the same championship that Bruno Sammartino held. From that lineage, from the Nature Boy Buddy Rogers to Bruno Sammartino, Ivan Koloff, Pedro Morales, Hogan, Warrior, Savage, Taker, Austin, Brett. I guess HBK if you want to throw his name, and I guess Triple H if you want to throw his name. Eddie Guerrero,
As well.
Edge, RVD. He held that same championship that those guys have held. Can Cody Rhodes be next? Could he show once again that he had to leave, New York in order to show himself? And now that they realize that he was all that and then some for him to fulfill his destiny and become what his father wasn't, and that was World Heavyweight Champion in WWE. That has been determined, but I'm holding high hopes on that.
In terms of Cody, I always respected his work. I always respected him from the time he joined WWE. It was just a matter of time as to when he would get there. I knew he was going to get there. It was just a matter of when.
It was inevitable.
Yeah, and
But
it's
but being one of the founding fathers and the foundation of AEW, I'm not gonna lie, it sucks that I don't see him on Wednesday nights no more. But I'm happy that that he is now being, he's been freaking showcase up the ass, Yeah, he's on Raw, but then he also does dark matches on SmackDown. Number one merch seller, his face is now on the pay-per-views, hell, just to be petty, WWE during Double or Nothing weekend was riding a damn box truck with Cody Rhodes' face promoting Money in the Bank. That's going to be in Vegas in what, July? While it was cute, while it was cute, still the fact that they're now doing that for him, they should have did that for him back in 2015, 2016. But hey, better late than never, and I'm glad that he's getting it now.
But Vince
This
always.
is the thing.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. WWE kind of has a bad track record with doing right by people, especially when it's a little bit like too little, too late. You know what I'm saying? It's like they have kind of been on a bad hit record lately with bringing quote outside talent unquote, because we can't really cast Cody in that aspect, but however, comma, we know Vince McMahon is a petty son of a bitch. We know that Vince McMahon will
He holds grudges.
He really does. And it's just like Cody, I just pray that he doesn't get used and abused, because look at the NXT talent. Look at some of the call-ups. Look at how they were treated and how their push was just killed.
Well, Cody was homegrown WWE though. See, that's different. Like, it could be. I can understand if it was someone like an AJ Styles or Samoa. Well, I can't say AJ because even though he was a popular name, eventually he did become one of Vince's guys. At first he wasn't until Vince saw what AJ could do, and then you see that the massive push and run he had. Oh, excuse me. Hopefully with Cody, now that he's back, he's already got a big victory at WrestleMania. Then at Backlash, he got a victory again. It's inevitable that they're doing the Batista 2005 thing with Cody, as far as I think that Cody's gonna win the third match against Seth Rollins. no way I see Rollins winning the third match, but it wouldn't hurt him either to lose. You know, but them three are gonna put a banger of a match. I know we're supposed to be talking about NXT in your house, but
Yeah.
I pretty much can see.
I was just trying to stall for Brisk to get back.
What happened?
I was just trying to stall till he got back on.
Oh, yeah, but pretty much, I see big things for Cody this time around. Now that he's in WWE, I honestly believe that he should be the one to take the WWE Championship because they're eventually going to split those titles again. They're not, Roman's not going to be undisputed champ. Eventually, there's going to be a Universal champ, and there's going to be a WWE champ. And I feel like when both Cody and Roman clash, is going to be two wrestling dynasty families, the Anoa'i family and the Rhodes family. Those two kingdoms are going to crash, and those two kingdoms are going to collide. And when they do, I believe when it's all said and done, to bring the introduction to The Rock, I feel like it's going to take Cody Rhodes winning the WWE Championship over Roman. And then maybe Dwayne comes and we finally get that Roman versus Rock match.
That's a hell of a fantasy. I have to tell you that. Well, a fantasy booking scenario. And I hope that WWE actually sees that money on the table.
I mean, well, they already done teased it on Young Rock that ever since, young Roman was a young kid, he wanted to be acknowledged and he wanted to wrestle Dewey. And Dewey told him, no, this match can only take place at WrestleMania. I don't know if y'all watch Young Rock or not, but yeah. That was
could you imagine how that build up, how the promos they would cut on each other? Like Rock would be like, before you were acknowledging, you were a little boy. I remember you used to walk around your little diaper, and like he could probably cut some stuff on Roman. Roman's gonna be like, something, we the bloodline, but you've never really been bloodline because believe it or not, Maivia and The Rock, well, the Maivia line and the Fatu line, they're not blood. They're not exactly like blood relatives.
Yeah, they're cousins. The Maivia and the Anoa'i, obviously there's respect for the High Chief Peter Maivia.
Right.
Yes, The Rock and Yokozuna, I believe, are first cousins, if I'm not mistaken. But, The Rock, from his mother's side, is a Maivia. He ain't an Anoa'i and he ain't a Fatu. Right. But, that's all still family. And at the end of the day, I feel like they might be able to do something special.
But knowing Roman, he's probably going to.
But I feel like in order to get to that, in order to get to that, the clash of the Rhodes family and the Anoa'i family needs to happen and take place. And I don't see them bringing Cody back just to bring him back, just so they could say, hey, and not only that, but they brought him back as the American Nightmare. They didn't bring him back as a different Cody Rhodes. They didn't bring him back as Stardust. They didn't bring him back as Dashing Cody. They brought him as the American Nightmare. What he was doing in Ring of Honor, in TNA, in New Japan, in AEW, and now in WWE. The last time they did that for a guy where they allowed him to be himself was AJ Styles.
Uh-oh.
So, I expect big things for Cody. I'm going to be a fan and supporter of Cody Rhodes. No matter the promotion, that's my guy. Again, I just miss him on Wednesday nights, and I feel like AEW dropped the ball on him. But it is what it is.
Yeah, you're definitely right. We'll see what happens with Cody this in the coming months.
You were saying, bro?
Hopefully they don't mess with
everything good?
Yeah, everything's good. I just have to stand up for a bit. We got a cramp in my leg. But yeah, hopefully everything goes good with Cody, I'd really like to see him actually get to win that WWE title. And I mean, I always say, like, if you hold once you're good enough to hold the NWA World Heavyweight title, you're pretty much a badass. There's no stopping you. You know.
Yeah, he's already a former Ring of Honor World Champion, former NWA World Champion. You know, I think it's only time now for him to finally fulfill his legacy and become WWE champion.
Yeah,
that's on WWE though, and Vince McMahon to actually see that kind of like storyline on the table. That's what I'm really hoping that they actually do, because if Cody were the one to not necessarily topple because he has 2 belts, but we're the one to get one of those 2 belts off of Roman, you have the capacity to tell so many stories from that point onward.
I mean, I feel like Drew McIntyre might end up getting the Universal Championship off of Roman, probably in the UK. They got that show in Cardiff. I feel like that might happen, and because Cody made it clear he wants to be WWE champion. He didn't say he wanted to be Universal champion. He made it specifically clear he wants to be WWE champion. He wants the same championship that his dad held in Madison Square Garden. Superstar Billy Graham was the former WWF heavyweight champion. That's the belt Cody wants. That's the belt, the actual championship belt that Dan Lambert gifted to Cody. And now he came back specifically to be WWE champion. And I hope he gets it. I hope he gets it.
It would definitely it would set up a new dynamic. And actually, I guess I don't know if he's coming back, but if we can, I guess, segue. I kind of hope Solo Sikoa ends up becoming part of the bloodline at some point, because it only makes sense. Because with Cameron Grimes making that subtle reference, like when Cameron Grimes said, I respect you, but your bloodline can kiss my ass, it felt like that's supposed to lead to something.
Well, I mean, the character and the story that's been portrayed for Solo Sikoa is that his bloodline abandoned him, and he had to be fighting in the streets. He's a street champion. We basically know he's basically a Kimbo Slice, Jorge Mas, game breed. He's one of those. He's a street fighter.
Yeah.
That's now in WWE. I would think that they should go the opposite direction and not have him in the bloodline, because putting him in the bloodline would be too easy to do. That's the easiest thing to do. Yeah, he looks like him. Obviously, yeah, he looked like him because that's the Usos' brother. I think it would be more interesting for him to go against him. And if some divine intervention they could ever get Jacob Fatu in WWE, to have Jacob and Solo tag team and have them clash against the bloodline, let them know that, hey, we don't agree with everything you say, and what about us? I feel like those who could be like that Samoan SWAT team like esque team.
There's actually a Journey Fatu as well too that wrestles. It'd be kind of interesting to see where he goes. That's Jacob's brother.
Jacob, man, that dude is talented as hell, man. He needs to be on somebody's TV, on somebody's national TV, because him and MLW, I feel like he's too big now for MLW, and that he needs to be elevated to the next level.
Ever since I saw that guy push that idiot fan into that crowd, like knocked him on his butt, I was like, yo, I don't want no part with that. And then again, I wouldn't mess with no.
Talking about the Joe Black situation.
No, I'm talking about that one time when that guy showed his middle finger to Jacob Fatu, and he decided to cross that guardrail, and Jacob pretty much knocked him on his ass.
Well,
yeah.
Do we want to actually I don't know if Brisk King is coming back, but do we want to, I guess, talk about the upcoming In Your House?
Yeah, I guess we'll just do that. I mean, Brisk, I'm sorry, man. Hopefully things go right. If whenever you get a chance, chime in. Just come in and we'll get your answer and whatnot. But here we go. NXT in Your House 2022. We have 6 matches, only 6. No 13 matches like AEW. No 8
I heard
hours.
that shit's still going on.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, I just have to say this because I haven't had a chance anywhere else to say it. I'm not sure if I said it last night on my show on Wrestle City Radio, but that show was a mid. That was not one of the best shows AEW's done. If I can compare the four Double or Nothing pay-per-views, Double or Nothing 2019, Double or Nothing 2021, Double or Nothing 2020, and at the bottom, I would put Double or Nothing 2022. That show, 4 out of 10.
To me, they're becoming like you said it. They become like Impact 20 in the 2010s, where
not only that, but it's basically now is basically NXT 2016, 2017. It's not AEW no more.
Yeah, and they need to like stop grabbing every single WWE that comes in WWE and just like look else.
The surprise! We got an announcement. We got an announcement this week. We already know what you're talking about when it's an announcement now. What superstar you done sign now? It's not fun no more. It's old and repetitive, and this is coming from an AEW diehard. You look at the shirt that I have on, the Blood and Guts shirt. And I was at this show last year. I was at this show in Daly's Place last year. It was a fucking fun show. It was a fun show. And even though it was only one match and there was people complaining about that, I can tell you, being there live at that show, only like maybe 4 or 5 people went and got refunds because the match was basically a one-match show. They taped everything else, I think, like the day before or earlier in the day or whatever. So when that match took place, the Blood and Guts took place like at 9 o'clock, like at 8:55, 9 o'clock. Everyone was hyped for that show. So whatever stories you read about it, where there were millions going to get a refund, they're full of shit. It was like only 4 or 5 people that went. So
I was actually, sorry.
Go ahead, brother.
I was actually going to say this. It's refreshing to hear somebody who actually identifies as a diehard fan actually giving a solid critique on the thing that they love, because that shows that you are a true fan. It's like when you're a fan of a football team, you can love the team, because I am sadly a Washington. Wait, what the fuck are we even called now? The Commanders fan.
The Cobra Command. I don't know, some G.I. Joe name.
Hail Mobra. Fuck. Yeah, but like a true fan would criticize their team because they know they can do better. Somebody who's just blindly a fan of the product, they will never question it.
And I will be real with you. That was me. I want to say maybe a lot in 2019, 2020, mostly because it was their first year. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, and a lot of stuff they didn't do was bad. It wasn't bad. But see, as I was describing it, and we'll get to this review eventually, 2 eras of AEW. It's the first era of AEW was from when it started in 2019 to August 19th, 2021. And then the new era began August 20th, 2021 to now. I'll let you take a guess what took place on August 20th, 2021.
Look in my eye.
And I still personally am not a fan of him being in AEW.
It's weird though, because if you watch the most recent episode of AEW, that promo that MJF cut had echoes of the pipe bomb, or at the very least, people are comparing it to CM Punk's pipe bomb promo.
I didn't see it that way.
It's just
what I saw was a frustrated AEW original who put in the work, who didn't have Kenny Omega endorse him to be in AEW. He didn't have the Young Bucks endorse him to be in AEW. Maybe Cody, but he was one of those that wrote his own ticket and became a name. You know, the way I look at it, I feel like, as I call them, because it is what it is, a lot of WWE rejects. There's been, since CM Punk came to AEW, there's been a total of 14, 15 guys and girls that were within the past year on WWE television that are now in AEW. Yes, they wrestled elsewhere before. You know, some has wrestled elsewhere before, like Ring of Honor, Progress, Defy, you know, New Japan, TNA, MLW, whatever you want to say. But for the most part, they were WWE talent. They were NXT talent that got released or left and now in AEW. And personally speaking, I call them WWE rejects that are now on AEW, and now AEW doesn't feel like AEW. It feels like WWE 3.0.
Okay, because I feel like this could be an entirely another topic that I feel like this would be a dope topic to discuss on its own podcast. Can we put a pin in this? Because I feel like we need to focus on the
I actually
subject
discussed
matter.
this on my show. Matter of fact, bro, when you want to take it, whenever you get a chance, not to plug my own show. My bad, Remy. I know we pretty much done took over this. You know, we will get to the review, bro. I promise you, we will get to the review. But on my show, I did a special Wrestle City Radio Live, a special edition, me talking about this. Like, I went in like a whole hour in detail talking about this. But yeah, this would be something, if Remy wants to set it up, we can do this in the future. You know, because I know this is supposed to be the NXT in your house review, but let's be honest. You know, do we really expect NXT 2.0 to do a good show? No. Will they pull it out the park? Maybe. You know,
I'm just saying, like, go ahead.
Does it have the possibility of being a show that is like underwhelming but pretty much over delivers? It could, and I hope they do. But let's be honest, ain't nobody really excited about NXT nowadays, man. You know, unless you're like a diehard WWE fan and you're a fan of Braun Breaker because he reminds you of Goldberg and the Steiners.
That's shade, but true. Because right now the women's division is dead. Like, I wanted to like Wendy Chu. Your mic's off.
I was gonna say, at least he doesn't wrestle like Goldberg. That's one.
No, he doesn't. Yeah. You know, I mean, he got that spear like Goldberg, obviously, because he played football for the Baltimore Ravens. But I mean, other than that, man, I mean, but see, he is what they're doing right with NXT 2.0. You know, he is what you know, their developmental program is supposed to do. But for everyone they do right, how many they did wrong?
When did you?
Oh, it's just more than her. It's more than her.
No, that's just like one thing. I'm like, this is what we want to do, because like I used to like her. She was quirky. The whole, you know, taking a nap, literally sleeping on him in the ring. But now we're using super soakers. Is that what we're doing in 2022? Is that what's hot in the streets? Is that what we're doing? It's just.
Let's get to this review. We can talk about all this fun stuff afterwards. Let's hurry up and get this review, because I know we do have a schedule to keep, and I don't want to be, you know, I know I'm just a guest. I'm not part of. I mean, I'm a guest, and I want to make sure I show respect first and foremost to the host who invited us for what he invited us for. So let's get this review started.
All right, I appreciate that, man. I'm just chilling, but okay. So the first match we have is Carmelo. It's for a singles match for the NXT North American Championship. We have the defending champion Cameron Grimes, Mr. To the Moon, versus everybody's favorite barbershop customer, Carmelo Hayes, with Trick Williams, who I really would like to see in singles, because he comes out with one of those guys that's just tough around the crowd. I mean, put him up by himself, you know, he ain't that much. Sorry, Trick, if you hear this, but I mean, I got to talk to you, my guy. But Yeah.
That dude's whack. I'm sorry, he's whack.
Cameron Grimes?
No, the dude that's with Carmelo Hayes,
Williams.
his hype man.
Yeah.
He's whack with a capital W.
I mean, I would say I want to see what he can do, and eventually they're probably gonna break them up.
He's gonna be the Marty Jannetty. No offense to Marty, personal friend, love him, but he's gonna be the MJ to Carmelo's Hayes' Shawn Michaels.
Nah, man, that's Leaf Cassidy right there, man. That's not even Marty Jannetty.
Nobody wants to be Marty Jannetty, though.
Actually,
hey, being Marty Jannetty ain't bad. He was a former Intercontinental Champion, defeated Shawn Michaels.
So here's the thing. I'm gonna nip this in the bud. Marty Jannetty was not a bad wrestler. It's just he had personal issues. I'm not gonna say what they were, if you know,
of course.
But
out of respect,
he had personal issues that kept him, because he was supposed to be a big star. Vince wanted to push him, but he had certain issues that kept him back. Shawn had almost the same issues, but Shawn was able to overcome them and become who he was today. But if you look at Marty Jannetty, and a lot of these people that say, "Oh, like the Miz disrespecting Marty Jannetty," I would go for it, and I would die on this hill. The Rockers would run rings around Miz and Morrison. They would give them a run for their money.
Of course.
And Miz could never run. Miz can't even work a match like Marty Jannetty. He can't even work. He definitely couldn't work one like Shawn Michaels. And
hell, he couldn't even work a good one against Cody Rhodes. I saw the clips. You know, Cody was trying to save it, but Mitch was just boxing left and right.
And furthermore,
Botchamania. But continue.
I'll say this: if I had to choose a top 5 for doing the super kick, Marty Jannetty is one of them. Because a lot of people they tend to forget. Old school people tend to forget that super kick that Shawn Michaels did, Marty Jannetty did it just as well.
Marty Jannetty got it from the Young Bucks. We'll continue.
Actually, you know something? Marty, you know this, but Marty actually had a hand in training Nick and Matt. So
yeah,
it's not surprising they take some certain things from him or from the Rockers. I mean, it's not surprising at all.
Their gimmick of young Hardys and Rockers, how could you not see it in the Young Bucks? You know, especially when they first debuted. But Cameron Grimes and Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, Andre, you gonna say something?
Well, I was actually gonna say one thing about the last thing and then segue into that, but you can't really. If you name yourself like, you know, something like the Young Bucks or the Young Gun or something like that, after a certain point, you got to change the name because they ain't exactly young no more. You can see the whole like Vegeta, I'm loving it hairline going on. So it's just like you can't call yourself the Young Bucks after a certain period. But however, segueing into the next part, I hope Cameron Grimes wins because I used to not like him, but I don't know. It's just something about the character and how endearing they are, whether they're heel or face, and the fact that he's low-key an underrated worker on NXT. I kind of want him to win.
Cameron Grimes, I've been following him since he was known as, I think,
Trevor Lee, right?
Trevor Lee. And when he used to team with another guy who I'm surprised has not been signed by WB or AEW, but Tony, you don't have to cut a check on me for this one. You can this is on me. But I forgot he's a high flyer. Andrew Everett. I remember when they used to team up together in PWG. I was following them since then. And Cameron's got it. I mean, will he be successful on the main roster? Only time will tell. Because that roster, that ain't no joke. That could either make you or break you. And we've all seen people get the big call up and they either thrive or they've perished. I mean, they weren't as good.
The sad thing is with Cameron Grimes and his gimmick, I don't think he would thrive on the main roster. It's it's very much a No Way Jose scenario, except No Way Jose never got like a belt, to my recollection. But you move him to the main roster. I don't see him being pushed.
And then basically it was Happy Corbin who basically took his gimmick, doing the same gimmick with the money.
Not as well.
Yeah, not as well, but pretty much he basically somewhat stole Cameron Grimes' gimmick and was doing it on SmackDown. So then now if Cameron Grimes would come as the man to the moon with the money and all that, the main roster fans, because you know they're different than the NXT fans, the main roster fans are gonna be like, hey, why is he still in Baron Corbin's character?
Yeah,
you know that's what they're gonna say. Oh, this Baron Corbin wannabe.
So Andre, who you got for the match, man?
Cameron Grimes to the moon.
Salvador, how about you? Who you got?
I'm gonna go with Carmelo Hayes.
Okay.
I feel like he will, regain his championship. I mean, I started seeing some of the Black Ink Crew type-esque segments he's been doing on NXT. I wasn't sure if I was watching NXT or Black Ink Crew. But I see him regaining his championship, and hopefully this time it'll be a serious run. He needs to cut the dead weight. I feel like Trick Williams is holding him back, and I feel like he needs to be a serious guy who can be taken serious. He's talented, but there's that saying: there's nothing in the world quite worse than wasted talent. And he's someone I don't need to see his talent being wasted. I expect big things from Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna dismiss Trick yet. I want to see what Trick can do in a.
I've seen way too much of it, and I feel like it's more for Trick than it is for Carmelo. Because I guarantee you, the moment that they separate them, Trick's done.
Okay. In terms of I'm gonna hold off and wait and see what Trick can do on a solo level. I'm not gonna write him off here. Right now I don't like the fact that he's a hype guy, and like I said, he's one of those guys. He's tough around the crowd. You put him in a solo situation, he'll probably be like the worst person. Like he'll probably that'll be his weakest point. But I'm waiting to see what happens with him. But for this match, I'm gonna go with Carmelo Hayes, and then we're finally gonna get Solo Sikoa versus Carmelo Hayes. And man, that's gonna be a hard hitting one too. I hope
that's gonna be a banger. I can see those two putting on a classic together with each other. Carmelo Hayes and Solo Sikoa. I can see those two putting a banger together, man. I think that way, if that match was to take place for the NXT North American Championship, I would stop what I'm doing and watch that match.
Oh yeah. So the next match we have is a tag team match for the NXT Tag Team Championship. We have defending champions Pretty Deadly, Elton Prince and Kid Wilson versus the Creed brothers, which are Brutus Creed and Julius Creed. Stipulation for this match: if Julius and Brutus leave, they must leave Diamond Mine. Okay, Andre, who you got?
I got the Mighty Boosh, aka Pretty Deadly, winning.
Okay,
I don't know. It's just like they literally just got the belts like what, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that.
Maybe a month.
All right. How about you, Salvador? Who you got?
Diamond Mine's already done. When they released Malcolm Bivens, when they released Tyler Russ, when they released Hideki Suzuki, Diamond Mine's already done. There's really no point for them to even still be Diamond Mine. I'm not too vastly familiar with the other team, I guess, who are the NXT Tag Team Champions, but I feel like by default they're gonna have them win.
Yeah.
I mean, I somebody out there, if you can be able, or even you, brother, Audacity, if you can be able to give me some info and some insight on who this team is and what they're capable of doing, and, recommend some matches for me to watch, I could probably be able to give a better opinion. But just by default, I don't see these Creed guys winning the tag team titles. Diamond Mine's done. So yeah, by default, this other team. I'm sorry. I apologize for not knowing their names, but by default, they're gonna win.
It's all good. So Pretty Deadly, they're former Progress tag team champions, or I think they're IPW tag team champions. They held tag team titles outside of the WWE brand. So
is this the team that was from the NXT UK that came here to America?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're pretty much familiar with Success. They're not two random guys they put together, and I don't know if you've seen them before, but they're like if Shawn Michaels had two sons that followed in his footsteps. That's what they look like. They have
with the hairline and all, the hairline and the googly eyes.
Not the hairline, but they have like the vest that's up to here.
Okay, so they don't have the Shawn Michael googly eyes and hairline. Like Christian's fishnet that he used to have back in the 90s?
Kinda.
No. Like, you remember when Shawn Michaels first started, he used to have like the jacket that only went up to his chest, like the half jacket or whatever, like the tank top jacket like thing. Yeah, they have like
yeah. Okay.
They're really good. They're really good, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Pretty Deadly. I think personally, Diamond Mine is done. I think Roderick Strong is at this point done too. I think he's on a by appearance basis, so I think he is probably gonna leave. And it's not surprising. I mean, he might go to wherever his wife is, and they might work together or whatnot.
And sadly, that'll be just another WWE reject showing up on that television program.
Well, he's not really
that's like the connotation of this whole thing, though. It's kind of unavoidable.
That's basically going to be another thing again that MJF and every other original AEW talent is going to be like, yo, it's just another WWE guy. If he does decide to go there. Nothing against Roddy going there. Hey, whatever makes you happy makes you happy. But you're going to have fans and you're going to have the talent that's just going to be like, oh, great, another NXT guy, another WWE guy now in our program. Yeah. I just hope that we can at least get Roddy before he does decide to leave. I hope we get Cody Rhodes and Roderick Strong. I feel like Cody Rhodes needs to make an appearance. There is at least 4 guys that I need to see Cody Rhodes face in NXT. Solo Sikoa, Roderick Strong, Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker.
Ooh. This is going to be good.
That'd be a good fight.
Those are 4 talents that I know that if they have a match with Cody, it's going to be a good one, especially Roderick Strong and Cody Rhodes.
Okay. Yeah, those would be pretty good. Especially Cody and Braun Breaker, considering that they both have amateur wrestling backgrounds. That would be interesting to see.
And they're both basically WCW. They're kids. They're sons of WCW talent, so that's gonna be a banger.
Oh yeah, it is. So the next match we have, after speaking of Braun Breaker, is Braun Breaker singles match for the NXT Championship. It's gonna be the defending champion Braun Breaker versus Joe Gacy. If Breaker is disqualified, he will lose the champion. Andre, who you got for this one?
Braun Breaker's gonna win because, again, they're still trying to tell a story with his character. they're still trying to give him, like, I guess, more depth. And for some reason, they decided to hinge this on great value Dollar General, Dollar Tree Bray Wyatt, aka John Gacy. No disrespect to the man's, but those comparisons are going to happen when you have somebody as magnanimous and as influential as Bray Wyatt, and you're kind of following in their footsteps. My thing is this. John Gacy has been champion again for like maybe 2 months, 3 months. I don't know. Time's a fucking illusion made up by man anyway. But I would like to think that John Gacy would not get the belt this easily. Because again, there you only have the one story of like, it's like a rubber match or a rubber, whatever you call it, feud. Because at that point, John Gacy gets a couple good victories. Oh, I'm sorry, Braun Breaker gets a couple victories. Then John Gacy gets a couple victories. Then you have to have like the whole blow off match, and that's only interesting to a certain extent.
Okay.
Did I say John Gacy? I'm sorry.
It happens. I've known of Joe Gacy since the CZW days. He's pretty nice in the ring. What they're doing with him now, I mean, with the whole like Bray Wyatt type vibe, I don't know, but I'm just gonna wait and see. I mean, technically, Bray Wyatt is actually an offshoot. Was an inspiration off of an earlier character that they had by the name of. I know you know this is. Andre, you may know who this is.
Mercy.
Mercy, aka Dance.
Mercy. Italian Stallion.
Yeah.
I believe that was the guy that trained the Hardys, right? Italian
Wait a
Stallion?
minute.
Dan Spivey?
Hold on. Waylon Mercy was Dan Spivey?
Waylon Mercy was Dan Spivey, yeah.
Oh, shit. I thought it was the other Italian Stallion that trained the Hardys, that the Hardys talked about on their autobiography.
That's a different
it was Dan Spivey, man. Undertaker's former tag team partner.
Oh,
but
wow.
that just made me like realize something.
What?
If they actually use In Your House, like, because again, nobody knows what's going to happen with Bray Wyatt at this point. If Bray Wyatt happens to come back at In Your House and either assists Gacy or costs him the title, that could open up some storylines. Because I don't know if you guys saw the recent teases that Wyndham Rotunda put up on his like Twitter, but you could quite clearly see an image of the Fiend in like this. It's basically a butterfly moth, but you could quite clearly see his image scratched out with red marker. So the Fiend, I'm pretty sure, is still owned by WWE. So I don't know if he'd be able to use that.
That's an IP that I'm letting go.
So could this be when he comes back? Because he's been tweeting some very weird stuff lately. Like, as weird as Bray Wyatt does, tweet.
I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see him come back in the WWE. Because at this time, people put stuff just to play with people's imaginations and so on. And I'm not trying to read too much into it. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If he comes back, welcome back, Fiend. Great having you. If he's not, then I know he left because he had some mental issues. If he doesn't come back, well, thank you very much for all the matches and memories you gave us. It was a great. All the best in whatever you do. Whenever your movie comes out, I'll definitely check it out, see what it is. But at this time, like the Fiend and even other people, like all these rumored returns and debuts, I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it, man. I'm just, I'm just mentally tired of it all, man. Just really and truly. I'm still a fan. I'm just like, Whenever, like with the whole MJF thing, now apparently they took all his merch off of AEW and whatnot. I'll believe it when I see it. When I see him actually go to WWE or Impact or one of them. The same thing with Sasha Banks and Naomi walking out. I'll believe it when I see that they're no longer with WWE. If they show up on AEW or Impact, I'll believe that. But until then, man, I mean, you know, they could put whatever they want. Sometimes they put stuff just to tease people too, like just to keep people like, oh my gosh, they're doing this, yo, and then this, nah, they were just playing with you. So yeah, that's just my opinion. So the next match we have is a tag team match for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship.
Oh, I didn't give my prediction.
Oh, my bad, Salvador. Go ahead.
You good, but Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker's winning.
Oh,
there's
okay.
no way they're gonna. There's no way they're taking the title off of Braun Breaker. He's winning. He's their guy. He's gonna be that dominant champion that that NXT is being built up upon right now. Eventually, I don't know who he's gonna drop it to, but for now, it's his time. So Braun Breaker.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Braun Breaker too. I don't see him losing anytime soon. But hey, the man to me, the man is good enough to be on WWE, the main roster right now. So who knows? But I don't see him losing this match. The next match we have is the tag team match for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. We have Toxic Attraction, which is the team of Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, who are defending the championship against Katana Chance and Caden Carter, who dress alike but yet don't have an official tag team. But yeah, Andre, who we got for this one?
It's probably going to be Toxic. I'm not even going to lie. Lately, I haven't been paying attention to the women's tag team scene because there's no substance for me. There's not much going on. They don't have like teams like back in the black and gold days. They don't have that like dynamic like they used to. And that's not me trying to sound like a boomer, even though, again, this was just a couple months ago, but it doesn't feel the same.
Right.
So it's probably going to be Toxic Attraction because that seems to be who they're pushing. I don't really know of any other duos that are at that same point to take the belt off of them, because now it seems like Wendy Chu is going to be the one to take the women's belt off of Mandy Rose through shenanigans, unless this is a whole other storyline.
So, Salvador, how about you? Who you got?
I'm pretty sure the heels are going over. I don't think they're gonna have the tag team champions and the women's champion lose the gold anytime soon. So, but I basically just gave you 2 and 1 who I think is coming out as winners. But as far as this particular match, the Toxic Attraction, I believe, are gonna retain. And that's all I gotta say. I don't know much else.
I think Toxic Attraction is going to retain too. Andre, you actually spoke about there's no other tag teams. There is one low-key one that could form, and they just might form it. I'm talking about the team Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, who have actually known each other before. And yeah, they've kind of hinted. I mean, they're pretty much good friends. So it wouldn't surprise me if they
Isn't Cora already in a program though? Isn't Cora kind of already in a program or a beef with Natalia?
Yeah, no, that's past. That's past. That like she fought Natalia
already,
and Natalia gave her the respect for hanging in there, and even though she lost, and yeah, now she's beefing with Metro Lopez. So yeah, I think they'll form a tag team eventually. The next match we have is Singles match for the NXT Women's Championship. Defending champion Mandy Rose, the leader of Toxic versus Wendy Chu. Sal, you say you're going with Mandy Rose, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't see this Winnie Chu woman being the face of NXT. Since this NXT is basically being booked how the Ruthless Aggression era is, and Mr. Executive Vice President of Talent Relations. Yeah, we gotta have Mandy as our NXT Women's Champion. You got great biceps, by the way, Mr. McMahon. So, and, pretty much, yeah, where Mandy's gonna be retaining the champion, and I don't think there's anyone right now at this time that would be able to take the belt from her and be the face of the division that NXT needs them to have anyway. So, by default, Mandy Rose. Not a popular choice, at least for me per se, but it is what it is.
I could understand Macho Man and Lanny Poffo being brothers. I can understand the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and Bo Dallas being, brothers.
That was unbelievable.
I still cannot believe that big, tough Road Warrior Animal is related to punk-looking John Laurinaitis. I cannot. He looks like the guy that you used to bully in high school because he was such a jerk and stuck up and would snitch. And then now that he has a little bit of like authority, he's gonna try to use it against you. That's what he looks like.
No, you got great biceps, by the way, Remy. Why would you talk about me like that for, Remy? I got you for this show. You're the reason why I got you doing Ringside Society. I don't want to have to call you and tell you that your show's going to be future endeavored and that best well in all your future endeavors. You got a great haircut, by the way. You look like a young I'm sorry, but I gotta stay up right now because normally on my days off, I'm normally asleep around this time, and I'm getting sleepy. So, I think John Laurinaitis.
Hey, I feel that, dog.
I'll try to make it quick, man. But I'm definitely gonna have you guys back on one of our topic in episodes. But we gotta talk about that AEW nonsense that with all these XW superstars and whatnot. Quite frankly, I'm just gonna put it out there. If they want to hire somebody, hire Richard Holiday. He's another good one they should hire too, and Hammerstone. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a fan.
They would have did that, but then we probably would have had Dynasty.
Of the product.
We would have, maybe MJF wouldn't be such a bitter guy. Maybe have John Laurinaitis work with AEW and have him try to get Hammerstone and Richard Holiday, and we could form Dynasty. You got a great bandana on your hair, Audacity, and I like your score.
Technically, I'm the new Women's Tag Team Champion.
That's right. I am the Tag Team Champion. It's not Daniel Bryan. It's not Kane. I'm the Tag Team Champion.
The way your headband is right now, and the way you'd make a great, you could pull off a great Velveteen Dream, man. Like real.
No,
I don't know
doing that. We're not doing that.
Is he? Can we still not talk about him, or can we talk about him again now? I mean,
he's like Bruno. We don't talk about that nigga.
We don't talk about Dream. No. Oh God.
Wow. So, he's from my neighborhoods too. That's the sad thing. I'm pretty sure he's from the DMV area.
Yeah. I think. Oh, so you're from that area? Okay.
Damn, so
I would have guessed when you said Washington, what the Redskins are your team, or the Cobra Commands. I don't know.
I don't know where we are anymore, bro. I just know we like crabs.
Yeah, I got the Jimmy Seafood up that way, right?
Yeah, that's like one of the places.
Hey, I'm from Miami, okay? I've never been to the. I mean, when I heard DMV, I'm talking about like the place for the driver license.
You don't need to come up here. You don't need to come up here. There ain't shit up here. Trust me. I'm trying to get out.
Yeah.
But Remy,
how many more matches we got left, Remy?
Just one.
So I'm sleepy.
The next match we have is a 6-man tag team match. The stipulation is the losing team joins the winning team stable. So we have team of Tony D'Angelo, Channing Stacks Lorenzo, and Troy 2x versus Legado del Fantasma, which is Santos Escobar, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde with Electra Lopez at their side. Andre, who you got for this one, man?
I'm gonna agree with Bobby. The man's in the chat right here. I don't know too much about this feud. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I've always been a fan of Legado del Fantasma. Words, and it's just if the stipulation is that one team has to join the other faction, I would hope that they're not trying to break up this team that has like such great chemistry.
But you know that's WWE's MO.
Yeah. I retract my earlier statement.
I can't see Legado working for the whatever they call themselves. I mean, they don't even have a name. I can't see
the Sopranos.
I can't see Legado del Fantasma working.
It's basically Queen of the South versus the Sopranos.
Pretty much. But you know, Queen of the South go harder though. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what anybody says. I mean, miss me with that.
So basically, Legado was on versus the Mafia. I'm sorry, but I mean, I understand that these people kind of give gimmicks. NXT is supposed to be developmental, but if this is the best that they can develop, Jesus Christ.
Hey, it's better than the Mexicans. I hated that. If I was Mexican, I would be pissed at that. Shoots.
No, I mean, this is actually not much of an offensive gimmick that WWE has done with Mexicans as opposed to what I've seen them do in the past, especially with
we need to talk about
the Mexicos and how they had them riding the Juan Deeres and you know.
I know this
you obviously screwed that up.
No disrespect.
White?
No disrespect to JTG and Shad Gaspar. They're great wrestlers, but I hated that Crime Time gimmick. That was another one I couldn't stand either.
I mean,
that's another topic, honestly.
You wouldn't be able to pull it off in this day and age. You wouldn't be able to pull that off.
Jeez.
There are so many gimmicks that did not age well, if we're being honest.
Yeah. But Salvador, who you going with, man?
You know who I'm going with? I'm going with Legado del Fantasma. I feel like they're gonna win, and if they lose, it's gonna be because we're calling them up to the main roster. We're gonna have that Santos Escobar. He could be our next Eddie Guerrero. He speaks good English. He speaks good English as well as Spanish, and he got great body.
Randy Savage if he was on a respirator.
No, I mean, okay, the way that John Laurinaitis talks, I don't know if y'all listened to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, but if y'all have ever heard an episode, how his Johnny Ace personations, that's why I mean. But now I'm going with Legado the Fantasma to win. I don't see this Sopranos ripoff winning, but I don't think that them losing is going to hurt them either.
I second that.
I'm gonna go with Legado del Fantasma. I don't see them lose. Plus, they got Electra Lopez on their side. I mean, you never know what she can do unless they have a female of their own. Yeah,
she needs more work. I mean, she needs more work, but she can develop into being a good talent one day.
Yeah.
What second thing we're all going to be wrong on our score sheets here.
What were you saying?
I got a feeling we're all going to be wrong on these predictions. Like they're just going to fuck with us just because they saw this episode.
Again, I'm sorry that most of this conversation is me trying to beat John Laurinaitis to stay up and fight and sleep. But I don't see, unless it's like a subject that we could talk about that'll really get me amped up. I guess it's because it's nighttime and I got this ceiling fan on me blowing down to me, and it's just nice, calm.
Oh, it's midnight here.
Here in Miami before this damn tropical storm comes. Yeah. But I don't see. I'm not too keen with the Sopranos, other than Homeboy apparently is the Don of NXT. He said some shit like that before, so Legado Fantasma to win.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Legado.
The FBI versus.
I don't see them losing. But Tony D'Angelo has a pretty young team. Who knows what they'll do in the future, but I don't see them winning this. So, with that being said, for those of y'all that are listening, those were our predictions for NXT in your house. Six matches.
Do not take those to your booker. You will lose money.
Make sure y'all check it out. And also, just a heads up, if you're in New York, Jobber Tiers, they have don't quote me on this, but I think they have a WWE Hell in a Cell viewing party this Sunday at Legends in New York City. So if you're in the city, check it out. It's on, I think, 33rd Street between 5th and 6th. If you live in New York, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, definitely go check it out. Come by, have some food. You can actually mingle with fellow wrestling fans and all that stuff.
I got to make a trip to New York one day to experience that. It'll probably be there if I was to ever go. It's going to be for an AEW show.
Yeah, man.
Since of course to everyone. Well, not no more because I criticize AEW. I'm not Mr. AEW no more, but I'm pretty sure.
I mean, that's fine, man. I mean,
but no, I've always wanted to go to New York.
Like.
Huh?
I mean, like with, again, not to drag this out into a whole other topic, but like the wrestling with wrestling tribalism, just like what you like,
Yeah, like who you like. I mean, you don't have to. You could stop liking a brand. You could start liking it again. I mean, they're not paying you to like, hey, cheer for them every. I mean, it happens, man. Shoot, there's times I even got burnt out by wrestling to the point where I was like, nah, I need to take a break from y'all. I need to go,
fans.
I just need to take a step back and so on. So, yeah, I know we're all tired. I'm about to shut this down right now. So, those are our predictions, and we will be back with actually another. We'll be earlier too. We don't normally do these late type shows, but we'll be back. We'll definitely be back.
I mean, for those who are watching this in California or out in the West Coast right now, this is perfect for you guys.
Yeah.
Right. Don't move to the East Coast. It's over here.
Yeah. But we'll definitely be back with a topics episode where we talk about stuff going on like AEW and all that, what's going on with them and so on. But Andre, Sal, I gotta say, it's okay if I call you Sal, right? I don't want you to.
Yeah, that's fine, brother.
Don't mean the wizard alligators and stuff. I know y'all be wilding down there.
Nah, brother. Brother.
He's not Florida man. I've met Florida man. He's not Florida man.
Nah, I'm from Miami, bro. Like, there's Florida and there's Miami. If you ever come down to Miami, you'll understand why folks say, man, I'm from Miami. Then I gotta tell you, we don't say we from Florida. We from Miami. Where you from? Miami-Dade County. Isn't that in Florida? Man, I'm from Miami.
Yeah. Yeah, Miami and Florida are two different places. And trust me, this don't just take it from Salvador, take it from me because I lived there for 7 years. It is it is different. A good different, depending on how you look at it. Me, I'm a city boy, so if you throw me in Miami, I'm at home. I'm good. Just give me a car, and trust me. Show me where the bars are, the restaurants are, the beach, and
You'll
it's all
find
good.
your way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, definitely love it down there. And yeah, I just gotta say, guys, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedules, to appear on the show. It's always great to talk to, fellow wrestling fans.
Of course, thank you for having me.
And Andre, I know you'll be back tomorrow for Hell in a Cell. I don't know about Brisk King.
I'll send him a message. We'll see what's going on.
If you ever need me to be a guest again in the future, I ain't nothing but a phone call away, Remy.
God damn it, Macho Man, John Lawrence.
But yeah. So Andre, I'm just going to go around and have y'all plug y'all stuff. Andre, you first. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling and all that good stuff?
Y'all can just look me up at Andre Audacity on Facebook or GERSHAWN Mason on Facebook. Or if you want to find me on Instagram, it's literally just the second thing I said, but backwards. Good luck with that shit.
Oh yeah. Also, watch out for them because him and Brisking, they have a podcast coming up. So you're getting. I think it's a variety podcast where it's not just wrestling, but it's everything.
We don't really have topics. We just kind of just shoot from the hip.
Yes, if you're into like anime, I think, which is one of the topics. I think maybe music. Definitely check them out.
I look like an anime protagonist. Like we talk about everything, dog. If you're curious about our podcast, it is the I Would Never podcast. Look at that. Google it on YouTube or look it up on YouTube. Don't Google it on YouTube. Two different things.
Yeah. So definitely make sure you check them out. I always tell y'all, it's always great to check out different podcasts because everybody has their own different style. I mean, and I don't know about y'all, but I like a different cereal every morning. I mean, 1 minute I might eat some Apple Jacks. Next morning I might want some Count Chocula. Next morning I might want some Frosted Flakes. Depends on, how I feel in the morning. So definitely check them out. Two educated brothers, doing the damn thing and just making
one and a half.
And plus they got a character. Plus they got personality. I mean, this guy has the cool headband. I wish I had your hair. I got a bald head now. And you got Brisk King with the yellow afro or the gold afro, and he has a can of Brisk. So I mean, that's a lot of
beat his ass with the peroxide.
Definitely check him out. So Ghetto Country Chicano, Salvador, where can fans find you when they want to talk wrestling, all things AEW or what's wrong with AEW, and also where they find your podcast and all that stuff too?
Well, the podcast Wrestle City Radio, you can find us on Instagram. I don't know if we're on Instagram. Yeah, I think we are. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Wrestle City Radio. That's a show we do every 2 Wednesdays. We do it twice a month. So we just did our first episode for this month yesterday, with Mr. James from Hog. The next show that we got coming up, I think, is on the 15th. Not this Wednesday, but the upcoming Wednesday is gonna be with Evander James. Not Evander James. Joe Black, I believe, the gentleman who got headbutted by the fan. We're gonna have him on the show to talk, and you can find me on Facebook, Salvador Santoyo. On Instagram and Twitter, you can find me both at Trill Mexican 305. Basically everything I post on there, it's all wrestling related. If it ain't my kids, funny pictures and shit, it's pro wrestling because pro wrestling is life. So you can be able to find me on there.
Yeah. This man is definitely is one of the most dedicated wrestling fans. Make sure you give him a follow. Check him out on Wrestle City Radio. Wrestle City Radio is actually a part of my past. I used to book for them as well too. And like I said, shout out to George, Amanda, and Emily. Y'all keep doing the great work over there. Salvador, you two, y'all keep on doing great work. I look forward to tuning in all the time whenever y'all are on, because y'all definitely don't play. Y'all get to the like nitty gritty of stuff and so on. And yes, I'm gonna even plug and say that Joe Black, the guy that got headbutted by that idiot fan who got his butt whooped afterwards too by Joe Black, he's actually gonna speak about that incident on that show. And that's a one-time thing. You're not gonna find it anywhere else. You ain't gonna find a ringside society. Because one, I don't ask people about that, really about what happened. I mean, I just talk about professional wrestling, and I don't talk about not necessarily negative things, but things like that. I don't really talk about that. But he's gonna talk about it on Wrestle City Radio. So make sure you check them out, and also check out their other shows too as well. So with that being said, if you want to follow me on social media, not that I have anything cool to say, but who knows, maybe you'll get lucky and hear me say something cool. You can find me on Twitter at the Remy Blue. I'm also on Instagram at the Remy Blue. I'm also on Facebook under Remy Blue. Just type that in, you'll find me. It's a picture of me at WrestleMania 28. Our podcast is also on social media. We're on Twitch at Ringside Society 2019, Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society. We also have a Facebook group called Ringside Society, and we also are on Spotify, Block Talk Radio, and we also have a YouTube channel where you can see many cool predictions episodes like this one. We have several great interviews like the one we did with Kayla Sparks, Katie Hebner, who is Earl Hebner's daughter, Inevitable Michael Martinez, who is Damian Priest's younger brother. We didn't even know that. Fuego del Sol's cousin, the assassin, Austin Keith, another great guy. We have several great episodes, so y'all definitely check them out. And make sure you actually subscribe to all our videos when you check us out on YouTube, because we have a lot of cool stuff coming up. And like I always say, you don't want to miss a thing, like Aerosmith in 1998. But one more thing, we also have a Teespring store where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. We have T-shirts, we have hoodies, long sleeve shirts, tank tops. We even have coffee mugs for your favorite warm beverage. Whenever you whenever you get a chance, just check us out, cop some merch. All proceeds go back into keeping our show afloat. But with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are getting heavy. I think we already lost Salvador, and my stomach is rumbling. So that means it's time for a midnight snack or late night snack and a nap. Maybe not in that order. But before I partake into those activities, I just want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight live. We really appreciate it. To those y'all that are going to listen to us later on, thank you very much in advance. And those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish you go away. Well, like myself for the Golden Corral, we're not going anywhere for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But so with that being said, I'm just going to say it right now. We at Ringside Society are very well aware that everybody and their grandparents and the parents of a podcast, or we're not your grandparents' podcast, we're not your parents' podcast, we're not just any podcast. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say it right now. One time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, one time for Andre Audacity and the Ghetto Country Chicano, Salvador, and
Right.
NXT in your house, which is going to be Saturday, June 4th, with the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. And with that being said, we're going to be back actually tomorrow with our predictions episode for Hell in a Cell with Andre Audacity. But until then, we just want you to do us 4 favors. 4 favors. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on. We out. Peace.